players are absolutely going to be... I mean, look at this. What is this, a mistake? Is this a mouse slip? What's this first move here?
Don't think it's a mistake, although I'm curious, is Magnus still playing on a tablet? A lot of people are talking about the last few days. That's a factor. If they get into serious time scrambles, I really don't think playing on a tablet is as fast as using a mouse. That hasn't decided any games. I don't know if Magnus switched things up. But E3, no, I think it's a bit of a transposition, and sometimes you see C4 played, you play a reverse Sicilian, or like an English opening as white, and here you have that transposition.
Yeah, interesting. E3 to start off. Magnus is full experiment mode. We saw E4 knight A3, now E3 on move number 1. When I play that move, it's absolutely just a mouse slip, but Magnus, I had to check because he is playing on the tablet there, so it's it's more possible to mouse slip, but it seems like we've almost got a Taimanov Sicilian reversed here, and this is an opening that you can definitely find some success with white. You think of a lot of positions. Magnus, almost with his previous opening, E4 knight A3, almost looked like an opening I've seen with on the other side of the board against the Dutch. And now he's kind of taking another opening and flipping it around. So he's really trying to experiment here and find positions that he knows are good, but maybe not with the white pieces.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, let's say it was a mouse slip, I feel like Magnus would have reacted. I mean, we have to watch the cameras. If this is intentional, which it seems to be, just getting some positions to play. That's what it looks like. Duda, though, Duda himself is a pretty good E4 player, so he's very familiar with Taimanov structures on probably both sides. And generally speaking, Black is happy not to be challenged too critically in the opening, and that's what E3, for the most part, it's not the most challenging way if you're thinking about Black and what can happen. It gives Black time to develop and castle without a lot of pressure in the center, and that's what we see right now. Plenty of time. Duda's played A6. Magnus just wants the position. I'm curious if some point Black decides to play F5, which maybe gives this queen and bishop battery a bit more scope, but on the other hand, gives Black a bit more space.
Yeah, I think that if White's not trying to do anything too crazy in the position, we'll probably see bishop E2, D3, castles. That's an easy way to just get the pieces out. But bishop D3 indicates something different, and Magnus developed his bishop to this square in the previous game as well with the black pieces. It seems unusual blocking the d-pawn, but for the most part, that's what sets the Taimanov opening apart from some of those other Sicilians, is you often leave that pawn home. So we could see a situation where you play a move like h4, and you just go all in on the attack. The knight wants to jump to the g5 square, will have more control over e4, and at the moment, of course, e4 is not possible due to queen takes g7 checkmate.
We have to talk about the match situation. Duda's up 1.5, so he's 1 win away from securing this match, earning a rematch, and this is Magnus's last white. Right? Yep. Game 4, in case it's a draw, and Duda would have the white pieces. It would be another tough task, so I think he wants to make it as imbalanced as possible, and that's why you see a bit of a funny-looking position. As you mentioned, the bishop is on d3. I'm curious, Simon, does it drop back to c2? Does it go to e4? What's the game plan? Because now Magnus is castled, so we don't see typically the h4 plan played as much when white castles.
Yeah, no, h4 doesn't make as much sense anymore.
this is provocative because black is liquidated, picked up this pawn on the h3. So the material's still a pawn extra for Duda. I'm not sure I believe there's much pressure here. This bishop, I think, can maintain the diagonal. And maybe Magnus is looking to find ways to attack the two loose pawns, a4 and d6. Black has to keep the queen on the g-file because of the bishop on h3. It can't be captured because it's pinned right now. And it feels like, yes, if the goal is to draw as black, that's okay, but I'm struggling to find a good move here that maintains that material advantage for Jan-Krzysztof Duda.
I don't think you play e4 if that's really the goal. e4 opens things up, it trades pieces, it drops a pawn sort of temporarily, take on h3, but I don't think he had ambitions for much more than a draw when he did that. But now he's in that spot where you gotta make sure that you don't allow Magnus to win one of these pawns and then continue to play the game on for a long time.
Well, if all things remain equal, Magnus has recovered that pawn, and he has a better structure. Not only is his king probably a bit safer because I see like the back rank, bishop on e4 covers things nicely, but d6 is a weak pawn. So the last few moves, they favored Magnus for sure.
No doubt about it. And we saw the head shake there from Duda. I think he may have just missed that queen a4 guards the bishop. The bishop can drop.
Oh man, he just missed queen b4. It's a funny move, but just to show the audience. Queen b4
Oh my goodness.
attacks the rook and bishop, and there's no good way to defend both.
It's a full fork. That's incredible. Such a strange miss. And what we're seeing, bishop to f3. Bishop takes f3 played. He
So
can't play queen
bishop
e5, you
sacrifice.
think, right? Because you
Right.
you have to keep a pawn on the board. But how are we in a position where Duda's down a piece at all? This is an incredible reality from what we just saw.
It felt like a bit of frustration, honestly. He didn't want to sit and play a much worse position, trying to clarify now, sacrificing a piece for two pawns, and play against Magnus's king. But we saw a similar sacrifice in a Lazovic game.
That's right.
Lazovic did not have much issue converting it. As long as you keep this pawn, your queen slides over to maybe f2 in some lines, you go rook, oh, we see the blue arrow, rook e2. And the pressure's on Jan-Krzysztof Duda. He didn't need this. He's up a game in the match, and Magnus just
No, that's so
firmly in the driver's
surprising.
I suggested this move, Amon. That's the problem. Exactly. That's the
Oh,
problem.
my goodness.
Queen h4. Magnus has made a blunder in a almost winning position. And you see,
Eric, we saw the same thing in the previous game. A blunder to lose the game, and Duda finds it. It actually looked like we were seeing the moment that it was flipping around. We've seen it time and time again from Magnus. And now after, queen g4, for example,